G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. Here we're talking about the CCI300 and applying a weighted moving average to the CCI. And I'll explain that in a bit more detail. Here we have the price chart and all our entry and exit points. Here we have the profitability chart. It shows how much it's made over the last couple of years. And in this period it shows, in this chart it shows the number of contracts entered along the way. I'm showing you here the German DAX running on a 4-hour time period. This can be applied to almost any time period and instrument. So let's first drill down on the example. Oh, by the way, with the profitability, stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll compare how this program has worked, comparison amongst the other programs we've tested so far. So let's just drill down here and I'll just demonstrate here. Okay, so what we've got here is the black jagged line is the CCI300 on the 4-hour chart, and we're applying a weighted moving average, which is that pink or purple and then turns green. So whenever that turns green, it means it's in an upswing, and that's our first entry criteria. The second entry criteria is the simple moving average 100 must be in an upswing as well. In other words, we don't want to enter when it's in a downswing, like in these points. So the weighted moving average turns into an upswing of the CCI, and a simple moving average 100 is in an upswing. We enter our first lot of contracts or shares. We exit when the simple moving average starts turning down. It is there, and also when the close, in that case, is greater than the entry price. That's our close. So that's a little trade. So we start off with a profitability in this example of just over 4,000, so 4,004. We closed out with 4,873 in this little example. Next, I'll demonstrate the average down process. So let's look at the decline of 2020 during the COVID crisis as an example. So we'll drill down in that area there where we average down. Now I want to point out a couple of things. So we enter the trade same as the single entry before, when the weighted moving average of the CCI starts in an upswing, which it does there, and the simple moving average 100 of the price chart is also in an upswing. We enter our first lot of contracts or shares there. Now, as you all know, during the COVID crisis, during the start of 2020, many markets dumped, and so in this example, the German market also dumped over February and March. So in this case, we don't panic, we stay in the trade. What you will notice is our profitability chart up here goes from that point up there, which is about back here when it started, before it opened, it was 2398, and when it went down as low, it dropped by about another $3,500. So what you want to do is make sure you've got funds in your account. If you're trading CFDs or if you're trading shares, you just be prepared for a downswing in such an environment. Now that was a pretty extreme drop, so just be aware of that. We don't panic, we'll keep our trade open. So we stay in a trade with that one contract in that period there, and we enter our second lot of contracts or shares, again when the weighted moving average of the CCI goes into an upswing, which it does there, and the simple moving average 100 of the price chart is also in an upswing. So we enter our second lot of shares there, as you can see there by that little step, and the price does appreciate into our favor, and eventually our close criteria is when a simple moving average starts in a downturn, and that close price must be greater than the average price. Now remember, the average price is now somewhere in between that point and that point, so the average price will be somewhere in between, about halfway there, based on those two entries. So the average price is somewhere in the middle there. Our close is greater than the average price. The moving average 100 of the price chart turns down, so we close the trade there. So you can see there it's closed those two contracts. Now in this example, in terms of profitability, we opened up profitability at 2398. We closed out the profitability of 3853. So I just made under $1,000 on that trade over those months. Okay, so where does the latest program rank amongst all the programs we've tested so far? And highlighted here is the CCI300, the weighted moving average of 400 for the 4-hour chart we tested. This is against these indices. So you can see here for each of those respectively, It shows the revenue generated. So total revenue of 11,200, which ranked 19 overall from all the revenue. So the higher the revenue, the better in that particular case. In terms of drawdown, it only had a drawdown of 2,200. So if you're very conservative and very minimal risk in terms of your trading, that's a pretty good drawdown to go for. So that ranked number 2 overall in terms of drawdown, the very low drawdown required, average. But in terms of overall ranking, profit over drawdown percentage, it ranked 15 in amongst our programs. So just be very careful, like everything in life. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. Lower the risk, the lower the reward. So just be mindful in terms of choosing a strategy. You follow a strategy that suits your needs. Here are some of my investing rules. Buy proven blue chip stocks, buy stocks which pay dividends. Don't short positions, go long only. The reason for that is you want to receive those dividends when they're paid, and don't trade on news. Prices are already factored in the share price. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe and the like button, and click on the notification bell to get all updates to the channel. If you want to support the channel, subscribe to the Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Happy investing, and speak to you in the next video.